Hi, and welcome to this new Smode tutorial, which will be more than an overview than a tutorial, and we will just show the new shape layers. So that will be in Smode 8.5, that will be released soon, and you have access to the shape layer by doing a right-click shape layer. And let's start with the circle and text layers. Okay. And now, first thing, you see that by default the shapes are displayed with a fill color and a edge color that you can see here on the bottom of the parameter editor. So you can either display the edge or the fill color and change them as you want. And if you take the circle, for instance, and go transform the circle, now I'm putting myself in edit mode, change the circle from circle to Bezier, then you can have access to the point of your shape, which is now transformed into a Bezier shape. Then you can also group shape together, like selecting the shape and doing a right-click group generators, Control Shift Alt and G. And let's use the renderer of the Bezier, which is a circle. And now into my group I have my two shapes, Smode and the circle, and I can change the blend of the different elements to, for instance, subtract, and now I have a new shape, or intersect, to create a new kind of shapes. So let's recreate a new text layer, and let's review a little bit the modifiers on the Bezier shapes. And for instance, you have access to the modifier by right-clicking on the shape and modifiers. And let's start with the stroke modifier, which automatically tear down the fill color and allow to do a stroke of the line. So here I have my end point, and here I have my beginning point, and here my center point. So I can do tracing quite easily like that. And you see that right now I'm doing a stroke on my whole letters because right now I am in a parallel mode. I can put that into sequential mode, and this will do a stroke on my whole text layer. So now let's view the best Bezier shape created in Smode, which is the Bezier shape layers. And when you create a Bezier, by default, Smode is switched in edition mode, so you just have to control-click to create the Bezier curve, like that. Up, and you can add points or suppress them, of course. And then let's do a quick overview of the modifiers. So let's start with the edge thickness, for instance. So the edge thickness, I'm going to tear down the fill and augment a little bit the size of my stroke. The edge thickness is changing the global thickness of the line accordingly to a curve. So if I put that in a sinus, for instance, here what it goes, like that. So let's keep one sinus. Let's go back to the stroke. So modifier stroke. Okay. And let's do a little loop on the center point, linear loop. Okay. And now if I put my edge thickness after the stroke, this will result of by doing this kind of stuff. And of course, I can change my thickness to a noise function or to whatever function I want to do. So now to review the other, do a quick review of the modifier, and so you see the possibilities that these new shape layers will offer. Let's reduce a little bit the size of the stroke. Okay, like that. And let's add edge thickness, which will not an edge thickness, sorry, an edge centering, which will behave the same way as the edge thickness, but it will just change the center of the line. So here, by using a linear ramp repeated 10 times, so let's use a sinus, for instance. Okay. And now you see where I'm going. And then let's add one other modifier which is quite nice, which is the the instantiate modifier. And the instantiate, what it allows is to instantiate shapes over the whole path. So in this case, it's circles, which I can change here to line, point, bezier, or whatever I want. So let's put box, for instance, rectangles. Okay. And now if I'm using my stroke modifier again, then changing, let's put back the center point at 0%. And you see what's happening if I'm tracing my line. No, the squares are changing from position, because right now I said that my box will be in a fixed count, and whatever the length of my line, there will always be 10 boxes all over my shape. So if, for instance, I change my Bezier curve, I will always have 10 boxes, whatever I do. I can change that from fixed count to fixed distance, and then I will just say that I will instantiate a box every 500 pixels or so. So let's change the stroke and see what's happening. And now you see that my line will always have 10 boxes, and that this box will be placed along the line. And if I change my Bezier line, I will always have a box. Separated from 500 pixels. So if I change a lot the length of my line, I will of course create new boxes, because now I have one box every 500 pixels. And now, as you see, if I'm doing the stroke, boxes are disappearing, because in this case I'm first tracing the line, and then over this new line I'm instantiating a box every 500 pixels. If I'm first instantiating my box over my path, I will then have my box created on my Bezier, and then if I do the stroke after the instantiate, then what I will stroke is the line containing my boxes. And then let's add a new instantiate modifier with circles. And now I will instantiate some circles over this new line. Okay. And now if I do the stroke, I will do the stroke on the line containing the squares, and the cylinder will be then instantiated over this new line. And then you have a whole bunch of other modifiers available, and I will not review them all, like the edge color that will behave like the edge thickness and edge centering, allowing to change the color along the edge, and a lot of stuff like that. And to finish this small demonstration, these new shape layers come as a package with a new mask, which I will show if I find some example image. Okay, let's take this one, puff, and this one. Okay, and now if I do a right click, let's put back in normal mode, right click, mask, here I have access to the new circle and Bezier mask, which are masks generated from shape layers. And now I can now create some Bezier mask over my image. So this is a new feature that came along with the shape. So this was just a quick overview. If you need some more complex tutorials, they will come, but later on. That's all for now. If you have any question, feel free to ask.